What is up, fam? Crypto Vic back with another episode on Victorious Crypto. Back to deliver the latest alpha, the rawest, truest, latest news and crypto market updates. Today, we need to just debunk some of this FUD that is going around, right? There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And why is that? It most certainly is because of this bad retracement or dump in the markets that you could be saying, right? This big crash that we had, we were flying high at around $73,000 almost, it seems like yesterday, right? Which actually was a couple weeks ago. But it almost seemed like we were just going to hit that next $100,000 milestone in Bitcoin, right? And we were far from that. Anyways, I want to today on this episode kind of give you guys a peace of mind and let you all understand and fill you in on why exactly this is going on right now. A lot of people, sometimes these crypto YouTubers or other influencers, they want to grab this news and be like, well, it's dropping because of this, it's doing this, because like a lot of times it's just a lot simpler than that, right? It's simply a much needed retracement in the markets, and a lot of times we try to find different things as to why things are happening, right? And I'm not saying that certain events don't affect the markets, because that's not what I'm saying at all. The events actually do affect the market, but what I'm saying is it doesn't always have to be that way, right? We have to understand that some of this is just bound to happen, right? It happens every cycle. It happens every bull run, right? So history doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme, right? So we're clearly seeing the evidence of that on this bull run once again, right? Let's quickly hop into the charts and let's check out the current Bitcoin price, which sits at 59,400, right? More or less. And the last week or so, or even up to the last 2 weeks, has been just a bloodbath for the markets, right? And I just want to take a quick minute to remind you that once again, this is just a tool, the vehicle that you're using to get to the next level in your life, right? Don't let this consume your life, right? So if you allow yourself to not get drained and you follow the simple rules that we established at the beginning before we even started investing, which is don't invest more than you can lose, right? Don't get so asphyxiated on the charts and keeping up on the day-to-day moves, right? Just follow the people that you trust, your mentors, right? Let them guide you to that success, right? Always do your own research, of course, but don't let the important things in life that actually matter in your life go unseen, right? Or go unattended, right? So just a quick reminder that right now we're simply going through something that just happens in the markets, right? It's a retracement that is much needed. It's healthy. I've said it over and over. I sound like a broken record player, but it's just the truth, right? It's because I understand first-time investors, or even some people that have been in a couple cycles, right? Some people are just at different levels in their journeys. And I remember that when I first got into this market, seeing these kinds of dips last bull run, I literally was running for the fences, and I was like, I want no part in this. What is this? Like, what, you put $100 and now you're down to 50 the next day, right? So it's the intelligence, the emotional intelligence to understand, to not get too high on the highs and not too low on the lows. Just stay yin yang, right? Understand that this is part of it. But you can't get so consumed that you let these highs get so high that you get over ecstatic, that when you get so low, you get depressed, right? Because then it's gonna consume you, it's gonna eat you alive, and you're gonna come to dislike this game a lot more than you like it, right? And once again, this should be something fun in a way that you can make money to escape that 9 to 5, to make some of those dreams become a reality, to go start that new business, right? To go travel, pay off some bills, whatever it is, right? But at the end of the day, it's times like these in the markets when we're seeing these big pullbacks that we start to ask ourselves, did I do the right thing? Right? And I've been there, right? That's why there's things you learn as an investor as you go throughout time. And that's why they say sometimes follow the smart money, follow the people that have been in the market for a while already, right? Or follow the people that are intelligent, that you believe are truly giving you the truth and that know what they're doing, right? Or that have been through it, that they walked the walk, right? So that being said, this retracement down to 59, I honestly and truly believe we could still go as low as 50 to 55,000. That's simply just because of the certain support and resistance levels that we're seeing right now, and where Bitcoin seems to be just hanging around, right? We seem like these last, like I said, week or so, it's just been dump. So we're bound to have a little minor relief rally. However, I don't believe that that's going to be the rally that gets us back to that next leg up, right? As I've been looking at the charts lately, I like to, like I say, I zoom in and then I slowly start going outwards, right? So I always like to start with the day, and I like to have the simple RSI is just set. You can't really see it on the graph right here, but I'll move out of the way so you guys can see it a little bit more. So I usually like to have just my simple RSI is nothing too crazy, right? And I like to just start zooming in and out. I'm gonna show you why right here. As we can see here, we see this RSI bottoming out, right? Down over here. This is why I'm seeing that there's gonna be some type of relief rally, because we have been seeing a pretty drastic downfall on this, right? However, this is why I'm claiming this $50,000 level, because it's where that last lane of mine, or last support resistance line, because it can become either or as certain prices start to break. But this is that last line where there's extreme support here, right? So if we break this right there, it's gonna be rough. So that comes in at $50,000, right? And that other line is around 55 right here. So that's what I'm saying. It might still come down one more leg down. However, I do not see it coming down to the 40,000s. That's just my personal opinion. That's not financial advice. This is the daily chart, right? So let's get back on track here. We see that we clearly might have a relief rally here coming soon, right? We've been seeing some downwards motion, and this is on the daily chart, right? So now we hop over to the weekly chart, and we can clearly see right here. We can clearly see this is falling back into a reasonable, healthy territory, right? But we also see that it's had a drastic fall, which is why I'm claiming that that relief rally might pump up somewhere around here, which is going to be that $62,000 level, which is what we're getting right now. We're getting back that pump upwards only before we come down and fall down to 50,000. Because you got to understand, you come back to $50,000, that is such a psychological number, just like the $100,000 per Bitcoin mark. When we crack that 100K, I'm telling you, man, people are going to get crazy. As it is, people already are getting a little crazy with price predictions, right? But once you get that 100K, same thing with that 50, right? So if you break below that 50, a lot of people could get scared out or get shaken out, right? Especially new investors. What I do believe could happen is we have a quick wick down, and then the bulls come in and buy it right back up, right? So I do see a potential of maybe a flash crashes to like from 50 down to like 45, 40, like almost for like a maybe an hour or so, or if that, and then buy it back up, right? Why? Because this will cause people to panic, to call for a bear run, the start of a bear run, right? And like I said, I like to start zooming out, because look at this now. You clearly see here now, after I zoomed out and I saw this, this is like adding 1 + 1. This right here is the previous bull run, the 2020 to like 22, right? You see that right there. What do you see right here? What do we clearly see right here? We can clearly and evidently see that history doesn't repeat, but it surely rhymes, right? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. So what do I see? I see it maybe coming back to right there. If I analyze this just in terms of the previous to the now, the histories, right? I can see that wicking down to that 50. That's why I'm calling for that 50 being that kind of that point where I don't think we'll break below that, right? But that's just my personal opinion. That's not financial advice. But once we zoom out, we can clearly see not only that, but now we start zooming to these last, ever since the first bull runs, and we haven't even had our run yet. Yes, they have gotten a little bit smaller, but we still haven't had that overbought euphoric zone here, right? And that is what we're waiting for here. What I do see right now, what do I see for the markets right now? I see this first leg up being this exact same first leg up. However, this first leg up here happened in like the December-ish all the way to March area. This one here was the ETF kind of approval rumors of the ETFs getting approved, and we had that October to January run. So what do I see? I do see a sped up bull run. I do see the timeline being moved. I don't see it cut short. I don't think we're in a bear market, but I do think that this bull run has been sped up, right? Call it the ETFs, call it whatever you want. Now there is a possibility, what people like to call that super cycle, that this is going to be the most parabolic bull run that we'll ever have, and then that's pretty much it after this. Why don't I like that theory? I don't like that theory because I don't want people to get caught with their pants down thinking that there's going to be a super cycle, and then it doesn't happen and people don't sell or take profits, and then they get wrecked. That is why I don't like that theory. I don't like that theory because based off of the charts that we're looking at right now and the evidence that we're seeing, that would mean that you're going to have a phase 5. Because the phase 4 is the most parabolic run. Right now, supposedly, we're in phase 3, right? Not supposedly, that pretty much it's confirmed. So phase 4 is the most parabolic. So you're telling me we're going to go to phase 5 where Bitcoin is claimed to be reaching $250,000 a Bitcoin? Like, let's be a little realistic. Yes, Bitcoin will get there one day. Will it be this bull run? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I don't want to bet my eggs in that basket. I want to make some life-changing money, not last time paper gains and then just getting wrecked, right? I want to make the amount of money that will put me away and not have to work anymore if I don't have to, ever again. That will happen by making sure you take profits on the way up, right? You need to understand that it's all about realizing your gains, and if you don't realize those gains, it all was for nothing. All that mental drainage and emotional draining and looking at the charts and waiting on the bull run, and it was all for nothing. So why risk a super cycle and get greedy? And this is what I mean. People start to get greedy. People start to get euphoric, and then they start calling for $250,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. Like, is that's reckless. That's reckless because you're giving false hope to people on something that isn't likely to happen. Can it happen? Absolutely. Is it likely to happen? Not likely to be on, not this bull run. So I don't understand why people like to get all crazy. Like, how about we give people what they want and help them really change their lives and be like, hey, you should be setting up take profits. You should be setting up goals. You should be having some a mindset. You should already be in shape by the time these gains come in. The things that actually matter, not like, hey, there's going to be a super cycle and you're going to turn $1,000 to $1 million. Like, nah, bro, come on now. Has it been done? Absolutely. Is that going to be you? Probably not. Because it's like a lottery. Those kinds of things like meme coins outside, it's like a lottery ticket. Yeah, you can be in groups and get this, but most of the time, most people get wrecked. Right? And if you haven't been in the markets for a long time, then you're not going to make that quick buck. This isn't a get rich quick scheme. Although it seems like it sometimes, right? It takes time, it takes dedication, it takes patience, it takes discipline, it takes conviction, it takes holding your bags, it takes a lot of courage, it takes taking bullshit when people are talking down on you because the markets are down. It's like you can't control the markets, right? But you have to understand that this is a game. It's like the game of life, right? This is like the game of life. It's Monopoly. You need to learn to play it better than everybody else, okay? Woo! That was awesome. Anyways, I don't even know how this came up. That being said, when we go back to that Bitcoin price, I mean, guys, it's in front of you. It had to happen, right? So now let's be realistic. What's going to happen next? The next move, I truly believe, is going to be that bounce off of that 55,000 mark, and we're going to start moving upwards. However, after doing some analyzation of the previous charts, it's evident to me that when this downfall comes, we might have some sideways actions for about 2 to 4 months, I'd say. I like to think at least another 100 days. Why? Because that's what's happened in the previous cycles, right? Once we get that that drastic dip, because don't get me wrong, there's that 15, 20, 25% dips all throughout the bull run, right? But there's that one time that it has like a 35, 40%, almost 50% retracement on some altcoins. That is when we see that sideways actions for the next 2, 3, 4 months, right? So I believe that we're gonna start seeing that parabolic movement around August, September-ish. I believe that summer is not gonna be a bullish summer. We might get some bullish relief rallies, but we're not gonna get that next leg up. I might be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we get this thing moving and on the road and get the show back on, right? However, at this time right now, this is the time where you DCA. This is the time where you lock in, you double down on your conviction plays, you follow up on your research, you do airdropping, which airdropping is another thing. It's just like lotto tickets. Like, yeah, you can get sometimes some of them are a waste of money, some of them sometimes are a waste of time. So with everything on here, it's a tool to help you access that next level in your life, that next aspiration, right? That leaving your job for good, right? So let's just concentrate on making actual gains, realizing those gains, making some actual money and not just paper gains, right? And on the next episode, I'm gonna help you guys design maybe $1,000, a $5,000, a $10,000 portfolio, whatever it is. I'm gonna help you guys the way I would do it if I had to start all over again, right? That being said, like I said, today we basically just wanted to touch base on what's going on with the market right now, where we're currently at. I think this is extremely healthy. This is much needed, although I know when you're in the markets, you don't like to see these kinds of things, big retracements, but it's part of the game. It's part of the show. Get used to it, right? You got to have the stomach to stomach these kinds of drops, right? And you need to have the emotional intelligence to understand that these are the times where you hodl because we're in a bull run. Don't hodl all the way to the bottom, but right now it's time to hodl. It's time to add to your positions, not financial advice. This is what I'm doing. Double down on your conviction plays, because right now you've basically, the way I see it is, you've added more X's, more multiples to your portfolio right now. So let's just say you were at $250,000 and you dropped down to 150. You lost 100K unrealized gains, right? So now instead of looking at doing let's just say you were going to do a 5 to 8x, it was a safe play, let's just say. So instead of making 1.5 mil, you're still going to make that 1.5 mil, but instead of making a 10x, now you're going to do 15x because of the price differences. Your targets should not change at all because the markets change. Your targets should remain the same. This is simply a pullback with unrealized losses for everybody in the markets except for those that took profits, right? Which a lot of these are whales. But you have to understand that when you're playing with big money, on a $1 million portfolio, a 10% move is $100,000. For some people, that's a lot of cash. And if you can make that within a couple of hours, you're going to be taking profits. That's just the reality of the game. The more money you got to play with, the less percentage of a move you need to make that much money, right? So that's why whales, they take profits so often. And it almost looks like sometimes, well, are they taking profits because it's the end of the bull run? No, they're taking profits because they've made a lot of money already. They made 10% on 10 million. So now they just made a quick meal doing nothing, just letting their money sit there, pulling it in, hitting buy, then hitting sell a week later or something, right? So they're swing trading these, right? But when you're on a smaller portfolio, like the shrimps now, which are like us, right? From 6 figures to, I need to upgrade that actually. From 6 figures to 1 million, right? So same thing. You're looking at these multiples so that you can see, okay, where are my goals? Where are my targets? And is that 10% move like us? We're not going to cash out in a week. We're looking more on the long run, like a year down the road, because of 10%, 10,000. It's a good amount of money, but when you have 6 figures to 7 figures almost, it's still not life-changing because you already have kind of some life-changing money on the line, right? And then you got your 10,000s to 100,000s, which are the smaller fish now. And I mean, a 10% move on that, $1,000, like, man, you're trying to make 6 figures. That's like some dollar cost averaging. And then you have your $100 to $1,000. That's $10 on a 10. So like the lower you go, the less money you make, the longer you have to hold, right? So that's why these whales, they sell so often, they get in and out of the market, and that's why these markets move so much, on top of having market makers as well, right? I do believe that these people are all in control of it, whether we like it or not. We say it's decentralized, and no, like big money controls it, right? They can sell, they can buy whenever they feel like it, they can dump the market, pick up the market. It's the truth, whether we like it or not, right? So we just got to learn to play the game, learn to swim with the current, not against the current, right? So swim with the smart money, because most people swim against the current, which is against the smart money. You got to swim with the smart money, right? So that being said, today seeing this, I see that on the weekly, yeah, it looks like it looks bad. It looks like we're having just complete downwards crash, but nothing just ever goes down forever. So I do believe we're gonna get that relief rally on the week. Like I said, once we go over to the month, it's evident that you're seeing history repeat again this time around, right? And I don't know why this is taking a little bit too low. Sorry guys, let's reload this real quick. We clearly see here that this chart is doing identical to last bull run, right? And that's still on the daily. There we go. Okay, so yeah, so I believe we get this rally down to right here. We're gonna get that pump back up before we get back down, and then here. So my prediction is that in a couple months we're gonna stay moving sideways, which is gonna get us to about August, September. We're gonna go through the summer, getting pumps, getting dumps, getting pumps, getting dumps, and you don't want to be playing in this time period. You want to just be accumulating, because a lot of these times, if you're day trading too, this is where you're getting wrecked, because it's not going up hard enough, it's not hitting your take profits, and then it's dumping on you again, or it's not dumping hard enough, and then it's so this is where a lot of people lose money. You want to just wait to get that breakout move up to the next leg up, right? So like I said, today I wanted to just give you a quick review, kind of fill you guys in on what's going on what I'm doing, and where I see this market going. I totally believe the bull run is 100% still on. This is not financial advice. This is me just letting you know what I think based off of my research, based off of my mentors, my group of people around me. We all think the same thing. We're all on the same page, and I promise you, we're gonna let you know exactly when we're gonna sell. And if it is something drastic that happens, and for some reason we believe the bear run is on, then we will let you know that as well, right? As for right now, the market looks healthier than ever. This is actually great. This is a great time for you to add. As a matter of fact, those people that were on the sidelines, man, you've been blessed. This is your time to shine. And for those that are in the market, this is your time to double down, pick up some more shifts, get some overtime in, do whatever it is you got to do, right? Just make sure that you change your life this cycle. This is your time. The time is now. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? And I'm gonna leave you guys on that note, right? Thank you for joining me today. Like I said, on the next episode, we're gonna break down a very strong and healthy portfolio, how I would get started in crypto if I had to start all over again. Like I said, comment, subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. Let me know if you what coins or what cryptos or any topics you want me to cover as well. And like I said, I know that I haven't been the most consistent the last few days or weeks. Like I said, it's just we've been really busy at our healthy food truck here in Texas, but I am gonna do everything in my power to make more time to be able to deliver more content. Eventually I'll be able to deliver as much as I can. However, right now we're just lining up all the pieces, right? I thank you for bearing with me. I thank you for letting me do this for you, giving you the information and allowing me to give back a little bit, right? To be a helping hand, an extending brother, older brother, younger brother, a figure, whatever it is you want to call, right? I just want to thank you for allowing me to help you become better, and just know that your interest and my interest will always be what I have in mind. Anytime that I bring you any type of information, it'll be in our community's best interest, right? That being said, thank you. My name is Crypto Vic, signing out. Peace.